Good morning, my lovelies. So today we are talking about an aspect that I've already talked about, but some of you requested to have me talk about this for all the 12 signs. Mercury conjunct the North Node in Synastry. So I will link the video, the original video, down there. So watch that video first so you get a better understanding of the general energy of this aspect, and then come back here and look at where this aspect falls in your chart. So where do you have it with your partner? You will probably have it in a different house than your partner. So maybe you want to look at your house where you have that conjunction and then where your partner has that conjunction, because that will give you a better understanding of what areas of life this applies to for both of you. And this will give you a better understanding in terms of what your partner is dealing with, really, when it comes to this aspect. So I'm going to talk about this through the signs, but you can apply it to the houses. Aries would be the first house, Taurus would be the second house, Gemini would be the third house, and so on and so forth. There is an affiliation between the signs and the houses. Of course, it's not one-to-one, 100% the same, but there is an affiliation. So when we talk about Aries, we are talking about the becoming, coming into physical form, and then just moving forward. It's this pushing forward, pushing out, coming out of the belly. This is Aries, the Aries energy, and this is also the first house energy, which is the physical form, the physical appearance, the identity, what you identify with, what you identify as. But then, of course, also some of the layers behind it that you don't know yet, because the first house, the ascendant, the rising sign, and Aries is the becoming. And the becoming is becoming. There is an evolution involved that will show itself, reveal itself in time. Let's talk about Aries or the first house. So if this alignment falls into Aries or your first house, then the lessons, the learnings, the opportunity, the potential of the North Node will come through basic communication. Also very basic understanding of life. Everything is going to be very foundational. And the things you have to learn and the things you have to communicate about are going to be basic. And by basic, I don't mean negligent. By basic, I mean foundational. Like, foundational stuff will need to be integrated for you in your life to move further, to become, to grow, to evolve into the person you want to evolve in. Also, what it takes here is a lot of bravery, right? You got to be brave. You got to be really brave, and talk about the things that maybe are not easy to talk about with your partner. The conversations that you two will have are going to be probably a little feisty as well, very often, so you two can grow into your potential, right? Or closer to your potential. So this can be a very fiery aspect, fiery as in fiery conversations, probably also fiery arguments are going to be very prominent here in this house, in this sign. Now, for Taurus, if you have this aspect in Taurus, or if you have this aspect in the second house, now this is probably conversations and growth potential in the area of your worth and value, understanding your worth and value. Maybe this is a relationship that really triggers you when it comes to, standing in your worth, your own worthiness, your values, right? Your values might be in question. And they might be in question because you're not firm in them, or maybe they are not your values. And you learn and understand that in order to live life as you, to become, to grow into your potential, you have to stand firm in your values, and you have to really truly believe them and trust them and understand that they are actually yours and not something that you took on from someone else. Money is probably also going to be a big topic here for this couple, and the conversations are going to evolve around that topic a lot. You know, money might be an issue between the two to a degree. And when I say issue, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's generally something negative that you can't come to terms with, but it's something where you, again, going back to your worth, have to learn what you believe you are worth. And it will be shown to you through your relationship and through the conversations you have in that relationship. Thinking process, right? Remember, Mercury is also the thinking mind, the thinking process. Then Gemini, third house. Here we're talking about conversations that take you back to maybe an earlier part of your life, early education. Maybe we feel like we don't know enough, right? This could be a knowledge issue here that we work through in this relationship and that we are talking about. Maybe this is also a relationship that wants us to educate ourselves, or maybe that it's a relationship that motivates us. So we go back to school, we learn more things. This could also be a relationship that relates to immediate family issues, siblings, aunts, uncles. Social stuff could come up, social circles, right? Maybe you two are in different social circles and now you're both finding your grounding and footing within that. What does that mean for you? There might be a lot of conversations about that theme, that topic. You know, do you feel comfortable? What does it take for you to feel comfortable in this social circle? Status could be a big thing here as well, and that can then relate back to your earlier life conditioning, what you believe a certain class means. Looking down on people, looking up, you know, all that stuff could come up, and that could be conversations. You could have conversations about that. You know, you might have to change your thinking around that in order to grow and evolve. North Node, right? There's the triggering. Then fourth house, Cancer. This is family related. This is personal life. This is home. What does home mean for you? Upgrading the home, next level. How do you actually want to live? How do you see your family? Conversations around that. Where are you not aligned with yourself, right? First, you see it in the alignment with a partner, but then it always reflects back to where you're not aligned, where you're not connected to that source within you. Where do you have to upgrade? Because North Node always asks us to upgrade, right? We are moving towards something. We're moving towards our potential. So what do you have to align in that area? The way you live, maybe also, you know, the way you live in your home, a bigger home, a new home, different type of home, that type of upgrade. Also connection to family, right? Again, this is not the same as the third house, but there are similarities when it comes to status, circles, you know, society levels, society groups. You know, might be you two come from different backgrounds, and now you're learning from each other, with each other, through each other. Then fifth house, if this falls into fifth house or into Leo, this is about creative self-expression, children, your inner child, your childlike disposition. I don't want to call it disposition, but you know, what makes you happy, what makes you feel alive. Like, you know, little children run around, they have no care in the world, they just live. They experience life without overthinking it. But this is Mercury, this is the thinking mind. Where maybe are you overthinking too much? Where are you not in your creativity enough? Where you just follow the flow, follow your bliss, you know, connected to that core essence. This could relate to hobbies. This could relate to the way you express yourself. You know, this could also relate to a certain degree to your romantic self, your romantic life, the way you are romantic, the way you show romance, the way you experience it. You know, love. This is also the house of love. I know we always connect the seventh house with love, but really the fifth house is the feeling of love. The heart connection, the heart center, being connected to that heart center. How connected are you to your heart center? This relationship will probably show you that in all kinds of ways, challenging. And you might have conversations around that with your partner and changing your mind around that. Agree the mind. Then this happening in the 6th house and or Virgo. Now this could be about you guys learning and growing when it comes to routines, how to approach your life on a day-to-day basis, and how healthy is that. You know, this is a very, I see this as a very healing aspect in Virgo and also the 6th house. This couple coming together to heal together through the other. And this is not gonna, I don't think this generally is not a gentle healing process, right? There is a lot of triggering, but again, within the trigger, there is the healing. You just have to find it, right? Within it. You also have to look for it, right? If you always look for the problems, you will find the problems. If you look for the solutions, you will find the solutions. What are you looking for? And the conversations that you have about these topics, these subjects. This work is probably also be a big topic here, being of service, feeling like one of you might feel like they are the mate here, or I'm always of service. What are you doing? Like that feeling of not being really equal and trying to become equal, or trying to become the reciprocal of the other, which in my opinion is the better way, because you might be really good at something and the other might be really good at something, and together you're great in this relationship. So finding your reciprocal, not feeling like you're less than and they are better, but they're good at this and you're good at that, and that's therefore you are thriving together on the top level, both of you. But that's the conundrum here, where we kind of like, it's like, okay, who is of service? What are we serving? And how does that then serve us and our health? Again, this is a challenge for both. This is not necessarily an easy one. Also, when it comes to shifting and changing your mind around it. Then if we have this in the 7th house now, or in Libra, now here we are talking about finding the balance. The balance between you, the individual, and you as part of the relationship. Where are you having issues to see yourself as an individual still while being in a relationship? You know, that what often happens is that, we just become this one thing, and this might be lovely for a while, but eventually one of us might feel like, who am I? What is left of me? And this is the challenge in this pairing, where, you want to grow as an individual, but of course you also want to grow in the relationship. And can you do this in harmony, right? Harmony, balance. It's a big theme here in Libra in the 7th house. There might be a lot of conversations about this, but also there will have to be a mind shift around that for both of you in order to grow. Because again, no, it's not growth. You want to grow. What are you growing into in this relationship? How does this relationship grow together? Can you grow together as well as an individual, or are you growing apart? That can be a big question here. And there might be a lot of triggers that then, facilitate your growth and healing. But you have to trust it and believe in it, and see the solution and not the problem, right? Are you focusing on the problem, or are you focusing on the solution? Then if we have that in the 8th house or in Scorpio, now this is also very strong and dark at times, because here we're going down the rabbit hole, right? Here we really are working on our shadow, our own shadow, and then how our own shadow shows up in the relationship and is reflected back to us through the other. And the big growth potential here is that release of that shadow, whatever parts of the shadow we are talking about, because it might not be all of your shadow, because the shadow is like, it comes in layers. And, maybe you're stripping off 1 layer, 2 layers, 3 layers, but the point here is that we got to start with 1 layer, and those layers, they usually are dark down and you've got to dive deep together. And that will be the challenge here, that diving deep and the triggering that is happening through that. Money can also be a big trigger in this relationship. Money that is and money that isn't. Then 9th house or Sagittarius, this pairing showing up in this area has to do with maybe your belief system as a whole, but maybe also your beliefs when it comes to religion, right? Religious beliefs. Maybe we're coming together from different religions and now we are trying to adjust. Maybe you are taking on your partner's religion, your partner taking on your religion, switching, changing religions, the mindset that you need to have in order to do that. What needs to shift and change here? Conversations about religion, conversations about politics, conversations about philosophy. All of that is showing up here and can be very, very triggering because we need to grow and heal. Maybe also this could also be traveling, right? Traveling far. Like maybe you came together from different worlds, quite literally different countries. And there needs to be adjustment here for both of you because you are adapting to different cultures together, which can be very triggering. I've had my own experience with that multiple times. So yeah, this is the growth in this area. This is the growth you can experience here. Then Capricorn or the 10th house. Now this can be growth on the highest level, but also growth when it comes to work and jobs. Maybe you can up level in society, but also in your career through this. But what needs to change and shift in your mindset, both of you, to do that. Also, this can be triggering around the classical approach to relationships, right? Man and woman. Who's the man in the house, right? What's your job as the woman? What role are you playing? Do you want to play that role? Does that work for you? Is that actually healthy? Maybe you are the independent woman and all of a sudden you fall in love with this man who wants to be the man in the house and says, I want you to be the woman and play the part of the woman. Can you do that? Do you want that? Maybe that's actually right for you. You just have to understand that for yourself. Maybe, you've been so conditioned by culture, in modern culture, what it means to be a woman and live as a woman in modern culture, that you now are confused about what is right for you. So these are the topics that can come up in this area when we have this aspect, changing your mind around it. And then 11th house or Aquarius. Now, this is a pairing that will most likely, no, I shouldn't say it will most likely, but this can be starting, or this couple could come together as friends. Maybe you are just friends, right? And that's all you want. And then topics around that could be how do we grow as friends? What are the triggers here? Societal standards is a big topic here as well. Community, what does community mean for you? Maybe one of you is a bit of a solo artist and the other one wants to just be surrounded by people and friends all the time. What's the lesson here? What's the learning? How do we grow together and as individuals in this area? What are our commonalities? What are our common goals together? Where do you have to change your mind, Mercury mindset, in order to adapt, to grow, to evolve? Last but not least, Pisces and 12th house. Now we are talking about your spiritual understanding of life, your spiritual essence. How does that align with the other? Maybe you're coming together from different spiritual backgrounds, from different religious backgrounds, and then looking at what does spirituality actually mean? Because religion and spirituality is not necessarily the same thing. It can combine to a degree, right? But it is not the same thing. There is a square between the 9th and the 12th house. So, what is your spirituality? How do you connect spiritually to your God, to your universe, to your essence, whatever you want to call it, right? What is it? How do you connect? And what mindset shifts do you need to grow and evolve in this area? This relationship will show you that. So this can be very triggering one. However, because we're talking about Mercury, there's a lot of lessons in here, less learning. Like Mercury is learning, it's literally learning, and allowing yourself to learn through the other, through what you hear from the other. Doesn't mean you have to always take on what they're saying, but you still learn even if you disagree with what they're saying. Even if you're not aligned, you can still learn through that. So yeah, if you have any questions about any of these pairings, aspects, placements, please feel free to comment in the comment section. If you want these kind of videos for other aspects, other placements, feel free to type that below. And yeah, anything else? If you want a personal reading, a recording, feel free to book it by clicking on the link in the description box. And anything else, I'm here for you. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video.